1 day and 11 hours left for the Last of the Druids to launch, and they're still actually updating the patch notes and adding new stuff there. That's why I'm here to update y'all. And we do have 2 additional rewards or whatever that they mentioned, and I want to show you so you know how to get them and not miss out. So first and foremost, we've got the Game Awards drops, and these you can get 2 new things. Number 1 is the portal effect called Druids of Magi. You simply need to watch the Game Awards for 30 minutes. And the second one is you need to gift or purchase a Twitch sub to anyone who's streaming the Game Awards at that moment, and you will get the battle-hardened Warbear Shapeshift effect. This happens today, actually, depending on when you're watching this video, December 11th, 4 p.m. PST, and it ends December 11th, 8:30 p.m. PST, so we've got a 4.5 hour window to get those 2 rewards, and they look actually pretty cool. Next, we've got some free cosmetics, and I think whatever you do, you will end up getting these cosmetics. It's nothing crazy. This is not Twitch drops for the launch, but these are free cosmetics that you will get whenever the new league launches. This is for them to promote the free weekend and get even more people in. So if you do have any friends that haven't played POE2 so far, make sure you get them into the free weekend. And we also are going to be hosting a giveaway of multiple different POE2 keys that we're going to give to people that don't have the game, so we can encourage them to keep on playing. The league launches, and the first thing that you can actually get is the smoking pipe helmet attachment simply by reaching Clearfell encampment. The second free cosmetic is going to be the Magus Tome hip attachment simply by killing the rotten druid boss in Act 1, and when you actually go to Count Geonor and you kill Count Geonor in Act 1, you will get this awesome looking level up effect called the Blood Moon level up effect. This happens December 12th, as I mentioned, all the way to December 15th, which is going to be the free period that people can play and try the game. They haven't mentioned anything about new Twitch drops for the launch of the Last of the Druids League this Friday, but I am assuming that they will, and whenever they do, we're going to update you guys over on Discord channel, so make sure that you join there so you don't miss out anything of the news. Anyway, moving on to the actual patch notes, we've got player changes, totem placement speed, and now also scales totem emergence speed, making fast placement builds feel noticeably smoother. This is going to help the warrior totem build. This is also going to help the new totem inspired builds with the oracle ascendancy from the druid and anything else. It's going to make totem placement so much better. Then we've got the passive tree changes, and we've got only one, which is the curse area, and they actually nerfed it. So generic curse area of effect nodes went to 10%, used to be 20%. Zone of control notables went to 20% curse AoE instead of 40% curse AoE, but they actually bumped a little bit the curse magnitude to 10% instead of 8%. And then Lich and Abyssal Lich curse AoE small nodes 15% instead of 25%. These changes actually represent a significant global reduction to the radius scaling of curses. Next, we've got 2 support gem changes. Extraction support now properly tagged with Chaos, and the second one is pretty big. Second Wind 1, 2, and 3 can no longer support meta skills. Second Wind 3 healing nerfed also by restoring 1% of maximum life per 1 second cooldown of supported skills, used to be 2%. Next, we've got some skill changes, and once again they targeted the curses like before, but this time is the skills, and again the radius has been nerfed. So curses that are affected are things that you see here: temporal chains, elemental weakness, enfeeble, vulnerability, despair, inevitable agony. The radius scaling now increases by 0.1 meters every 3 gem levels at level 20 plus. Previously used to scale with the same amount, but every single level. So now it's going to scale every 3 levels. So it's actually a pretty big nerf. Next, we've got the Doadir's Undoing Rework, which is no longer scales off intelligence. It now scales based on the supported curse gem levels, making curse builds more flexible and less intelligent driven. Next, we've got a big buff and rebalancing of Firestorm. I don't know if this is going to inspire more people to use it, and the damage and scaling is pretty good here. It's almost double on both fronts, the minimum level and the maximum level, as you can see, reaching all the way to 167 on fire, and the max at level 20 used to be a max of 83, which is pretty big. The storm radius has gone up by 0.2, not a big deal. Now it grants 100% increased damage whenever you get a fire infusion with it, which is pretty big. The radius has been decreased, but the bolt frequency now is 100% increase, used to be 200% increase. The cold and lightning variant buffs as well. You can see the cold goes 27 to 40, used to be 16 to 24. And as you can see, it's almost double the damage on cold bolts, and the same goes to the lightning bolts. So Firestorm has seen a pretty significant and big buff. Then we've got some rework on Mirage Archer. New 10-second cooldown that starts on the creation of the ability, and you cannot reset it by dodging. You can now have multiple Mirages active at once, and the duration has increased 5.4 to 6 seconds at gem level 8 to 20. Used to be 4.4 to 5. Other skill adjustments we've got here are mortar cannon. Attack animation starts later after cannon is placed, and the oil grenade has seen a pretty big buff. The damage has increased significantly. It used to deal 77 to 163%. Now it deals 193% to 408. Oil ground, when ignited, adds 150% of fire damage as unscalable ignite damage. And then the slow 40% movement slow used to be 20%. So a pretty big buff for the oil grenade, as if the grenades needed a little bit more help here. But I'm happy. Nade builds are actually pretty fun, so I like this change. Then we've got some additional curse related stuff going on in the item changes, but this time for the jewels. The curse AoE mods have been reduced. Regular jewels went down to 8 to 12%, used to be 15 to 25, which is a pretty big nerf. And the timeless jewels went down to 3 to 6%, used to be 6 to 12%. Then we've got unique item changes. The Sands of Silk. The blink skill now has 3 cooldown uses, used to be 1. Then we have the Prism Guardian. Not only does it have plus 50 spirit baseline now, but also instead of doing plus spirit per life, it now gives you 1% spirit reservation efficiency of buff skills per 100 max life. Then we've got a couple of bug fixes. Firestorm infusion stats were not applying to infused bolts. This has been fixed. Fixed charge gain mechanics that were double dipping via resonance and conduit interactions. And lastly, we've got vaulting impact and thunderous leap can now be animation canceled properly. I actually like this change because I do play with vaulting impact quite a lot within my league starters, usually with a monk or whatever. Then we've got updated patch notes or additional changes that they actually did, and I am really happy with some of these that I see here. Firstly, we've got a nice little buff on Ice Nova. They actually increased the explosion and shield radius by quite a lot, and also they increased the damage, as you can see here on the lower levels, the new numbers and the old numbers that we used to have, which is a pretty decent buff for Ice Nova. Then we've got the raised zombies. Creating a zombie from a power charge now summons 2 additional non-empowered zombies, however, but you still get 2 new ones. And then we've got the empowered zombie damage has been increased to 122%, all the way to 253% more at level 5 to 20, used to be 100%. So the zombies are going to be dealing massive damage now. Next, we've got a complete rework of Incinerate. The key changes that they actually showed here are now it deals 11.1 to 57.5 fire dot per level scaling. Ignite grounds last 8 seconds, used to be 4 seconds. Component ignites now compound, not overwrite, which is a big difference. Quality now instead of ignite magnitude, it gives you ignite duration, 20% more of it. The fuel mechanics have been reworked and slightly actually nerfed. We've got the gains of the fuel per mana spend has been decreased, and the max fuel has been decreased to 5 seconds, used to be 10. No longer has a multi-stage scaling or ignite penalties, and new baseline ignite damage replaced the old massive but restricting values. Big changes here for Incinerate. I really want to see this compound thing going into builds, and if it's going to be scaling the same way and stacking the same way as Jonathan mentioned that the fire breath is going to be stacking for the Wyvern. Then something that I'm really looking forward, and a lot of you guys have been saying that you'll be playing my Ice Shot build with either Pathfinder or Deadeye, and Ice Shot has gotten a huge buff. So first of all, damage conversion 80% physical to cold. It used to be 70. The cone angle has been increased by 50%, which means that you will now shoot a wider cone, which is also really good. Freeze buildup plus 25%, and then the base damage level 9 to 20 used to be 173 to 296. Now it's 178 to 344, which is a decent buff there. The quality 0 to 30% more chill magnitude used to be attack damage which means that now we're going to have more magnitude of chill, so you're going to be able to use it more often and shatter and all that good stuff. Shards now fire 9 to 11 projectiles, used to be 6 to 8, and shard damage also buffed to 178 to 344%, used to cap to 234%. Then the oil grenade that we saw before, they reconfirmed the buffs, and they said cooldown 4 seconds, used to be 5. Oil duration is 6 seconds, used to be 5. And then the damage is the biggest thing that I see here, 193 to 408% attack damage, used to be capping to 163%. Insane change here for oil grenade. And oil ground adds 150% fire damage as unscalable ignite damage, and the movement slow is 40%, used to be 20. But that's basically it with all of the new changes that they added. I think this is going to be my last video. In a day and 10 hours we're getting the league, so make sure that you keep up. If you want to see all of that, join our Discord, and make sure that you join us live over on twitch.tv/scorpius_ent. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching all of these update videos. I hope I helped you catch up and everything, and I'm gonna see you guys at league launch. Peace.